bigger.
Yeah, absolutely. Very different, lots of experience to grab up, and also not that easy to creep early on with ghouls and lich. And I think that's DOWAQ's playstyle, right? I think going slow DK, slow fiends, tech up, and take your time, and don't be too aggressive. That doesn't sound like DOWAQ, dude. That doesn't sound like him at all. I think he wants to play lich here, and looks like we might be seeing this again. We see... Normally, you know, we cast a lot of games in China over at NetEase, and there is normally passive undead play at the beginning, either fast DK late fiends or fast fiends late DK, both of which is passive. These guys are not up for this passivity, both of them starting with a ghoul build once again. This should be lich first, or SYDE's favorite, maybe, even the Dreadlord.
I was thinking the same with a little delayed altar. And Last Refuge being a map where you can expand. The creep spot there is not too hard. You can also get mercenary support if you focus on it. Both have shown, like SYDE on his ladder in previous games, that they have a big variety of first heroes to go for. So what's it gonna be? Dreadlord action or Lich? Or even a Crypt Lord? No, Lich for SYDE.
Okay.
And DOWAQ decides to go for the Lich as well. So we go back to the beginning, basically, where... we have seen a Lich mirror as well, and this is kind of a throwback to like 10 years ago. Lich ghouls opening an undead mirror. Mad Frog, are you watching?
We saw this quite a bit on ladder always, but on competitive play normally we don't see this anymore. This used to be the meta, as you said, years and years ago. Going mass ghouls into mass gargs. Probably we're going to be transitioning into fiends here at one point, but still we're going to be opening with ghouls. And this is a knife fight. Everything has little HP, nothing can heal, but there's plenty of damage to be going out everywhere, so this is going to be already early on, should we see engagements, even in small numbers, very high intensity.
It's kind of surprising that you tell me that SYDE doesn't feel comfortable in Undead Mirror, because in the WCG regionals in France, he defeated 2 Undeads with Onuel and Krav, and also in W3IL, where he plays for Team France before being picked up by Team Oceanus, he defeated the Great Wall, who was a random player who played Undead then, Mosura and Lubber, and didn't drop a single map in none of these games.
Alright, that sounds pretty impressive, true. But of all the players you just mentioned, they are, I would say, not quite on his level, not quite on the highest level of European Warcraft, and that's what you maybe want to consider in those situations as well, like how would I be doing against Night End and Happy and Exlord and all these guys. So, what's happening in this Lich Mirror here so far? DOWAQ tried to snipe the High Priest from the opposing side, got it as well, picks up the experience, but will lose one ghoul for this. Both Liches using plenty of mana right away, and SYDE looking for the surround. Does he have him?
Ooh, looks like it!
Oh, almost.
Has to run away now. There's almost one more Nova for the player from France. DOWAQ, can he get another ghoul pick up here? Doesn't seem like it. Ghoul's pretty fast.
Yeah, SYDE there with a slight concentration slip. He left 2 ghouls behind, didn't group him in his priority group with the heroes, so they were just standing there doing nothing.
Nova's almost ready. Creep's attacking him as well. This is gonna be dangerous for DOWAQ, and he lets the Lich die.
He tried to sacrifice himself to the creeps, denying the experience, but that didn't work. SYDE still got the experience, now gets the next Nova and the next kill, and with that, almost level 2 already. But
gotta be careful.
Completely out of health and mana.
Absolutely.
Oh, the creeps!
Are
you serious?
Did someone bribe them? Endars, the manager of Soviet War Elite, maybe? This rock golem throws a big boulder right on the head of the Lich, and boom, down he goes. Both players losing their first heroes.
Can we take a moment to appreciate this? We have 0 heroes on the map right now. This is not a very frequent occurrence.
We have the tier 2 techs on the way.
I mean, ideally he would have liked to not get bouldered into the face and into the grave from that rock golem, but I think it's not even the worst thing.
It's actually not that bad.
He didn't give up experience. He's going to come back full health and 100 mana. It's like, it's actually kind of okay.
Yeah, I agree. For DOWAQ, it's certainly worse because he gave that experience to SYDE with that kill.
Yeah.
There was no experience granted for DOWAQ here because the creeps got it. He has the sentry wards though, stole a little bit of experience from SYDE's side of the map, and that can be pretty helpful. Also that clause of attack is a very nice addition to that Lich. And now, creeping continues. Both are going for tier 2, almost done for SYDE. DOWAQ slightly behind, also the graveyard I think. actually slightly ahead with the Graveyard. So, are we transitioning into a Fiend Mirror?
Yes, we absolutely are. Otherwise, we would be seeing the double crypt. I'm still waiting for the day where finally we see mass Gargs against mass Gargs. The big fight comes and the big fight is over.
Yeah, you're looking forward to that?
In 2 seconds. I mean, I don't want to see it all the time, but like...
do you like to cast that?
Once in a while?
Okay.
Yeah, but no.
You will do the fights then if that comes back into meta. Alright, I'll just pass it to you.
Yeah, but we're going to Fiends. Those are more reliable. Gargs are really momentum-based. If suddenly you get 3 of them webbed, you don't have critical mass anymore, and your ghouls don't have the numbers to overwhelm the Fiends, suddenly the game is instantly over. There's nothing really you can do about it anymore. Fiends are always reliable, always a way to come back with them. Lich is once again meeting, and SYDE gets the 4th ghoul kill. That one is denied.
Yeah.
But still a ghoul to fall.
And boots now on the Lich.
Boots! Oh, you know how I love my boots.
These boots are made for chasing. And another Nova for SYDE. There is 4 Watcher wards now, or Sentry wards, in DOWAQ's inventory. He will have so much vision on the map. I was quite surprised to not see these wards placed during the initial harass. But alright, we're gonna get there. Tier 2 done. We're going DK Slaughterhouse for SYDE. No surprise here. Same for DOWAQ, who's now creeping up his expansion as well with the ring. Okay. That's SYDE actually stealing experience from DOWAQ's side of the map.
And that's a level 3. That's a really big level up. This Lich now has massive damage potential, especially against ghouls.
3/4 ahead in levels, man. What the hell?
Yeah. Starting off well. And keeping his lead going, and finds the ghouls again. How many ghoul kills is he going to be satisfied with? He already got 4. He's going to get at least 1 more. I like that DOWAQ is spreading the ghouls. Perhaps he's going to be able to save 1 of them. Quick reactions there.
But the boots have already paid off.
Yes.
We saw SYDE there for a moment.
Boots always pay off. Boots always pay off.
We saw SYDE there for a moment. The mightiest beard in all of professional Warcraft. And now the DK is here for some healing, and soon to have the aura, but that's the case for DOWAQ as well. Going into Fiends now as we speak. Only 26 supply for DOWAQ.
I love SYDE's aggressive play. Using his level 3 right now, being in the opponent's face. If it should come to a trading game with level 3 versus level 2, he's going to be far ahead. And if DOWAQ just runs away and skips out on creeping, he's fine with that as well. If we go to tier 3 with the orb, and then, you know, the big damage comes with the frenzy ghouls, he's going to have the massive advantage with that level 2 Nova over the only level 1 in that case also.
Tier 3 is about to finish. Statues coming. Morphine SYDE again with the sacrificial pit earlier. So he will have a shade, and especially against the sentry wards, that's really cool. So he will most likely not be surprised by the vision of his opponent. That reduces the potential of creep jacks, which would certainly be a way for DOWAQ to get back into this game.
Yeah, and in fact, the first sentry is being dewarded in the main right now by the ghouls with that first shade that popped out. That, of course, also tells the DOWAQ about the shade, who didn't opt for one in this game. Here we go, tier 3 is ready. Now we have the orb coming, even more damage.
How nice that he sees the ward now. It's a pretty risky creep sword because it's so like in the middle of the map and approachable as well. But the shade arrived at the perfect time. He's luring out the creeps, has a way safer position right now. But that tell of DOWAQ gives him the time to creep the same spot. And there's a big consumable here. And that in Undead Mirror can change everything.
Do you think SYDE intentionally went for such an early shade because you saw in the inventory the sentries earlier?
That would be pretty smart.
May have considered here his choice of tech. Of course, if you have a 6 Acolyte anyways, it doesn't really cost that much because lumber is not the issue here for these guys with all these ghouls. Ghouls are coming now into the middle of the map. Frenzy will be done in a moment.
Greater mana for DOWAQ. But he doesn't want to jack. SYDE knows the movement of his opponent.
Level 2 on the DK, that's another big level advantage. DOWAQ needs to find that himself, but he can't really get it. He's going for the Merc Camp creep. He knows there's a shade around.
Yeah,
DOWAQ, I hope you brought a TP.
It's super risky. Still has that TP from earlier, losing almost a ghoul. Has to use a coily, but the boulder toss on that ghoul. Nova comes in. There's still this rock golem up. Can he kill him finally? Yes, he gets it at the belt as well. What did he lose in the process, though?
One fiend to the enemy and one ghoul to the creeps, I believe it was.
Okay, and the TP, of course.
Yeah, so he lost the TP. He got the experience from the big boy and the big item.
But he can go for his own mercenary camp now, and that's even more experience. And the second big item, one of the biggest items on the map, actually, especially if it drops like a flute or a pendant of energy. And he finally gets that level 3 Lich. But on the other side, SYDE knows that DOWAQ will be busy in the north, so he is going for the red spot.
If he goes for the red camp right now, he can go over to the next red camp and then contest this one. He probably feels that he's with a bit of an advantage right now and is trying to capitalize on this by claiming the bigger camps. There's so many great items to be found here. Also a few rather disappointing ones. This one is usually good, but he's got the aura already.
And on the other side, we found the Devotion Aura, an item that was considered crap, basically, for many, many years. But it got buffed. It's now twice as strong with 2 armor. It's basically a constant scroll of protection that DOWAQ has now, and especially in mirrors. That can make such an impact, but he sold it right away.
Don't know about that choice. I actually think that item is one of the best nowadays at this camp. I think the 2 armor, especially when you're working with minus armor, like with the Orb of Corruption, it messes with your internal calculating of kills and stuff, and that can become difficult in hard to deal with micro situations. We have a destroyer push into the main. This is some old school stuff, man, usually not something we see anymore, but SYDE is home to defend, losing only 1 ghoul so far.
We have a TP on DOWAQ's side, 47 supply against 44. Web is coming now at the right time, and SYDE bought the time for an expansion of his own, and DOWAQ, despite having 4 sentry wards, has no idea about this yet. The Shade's still providing so much information, it's crazy.
It looks like a bit of a greedy expansion, right? He invested that, about 200, more like 300 gold with the Acolyte, but I guess he had the lead to back it up. Not gonna get the DK here. What did he buy? Scroll of Healing, very important to have that heal against the AoE damage from the Nova. For the ghouls or fiends. And I'm kind of afraid we're moving into a destroyer mirror over here, my friend.
Absolutely possible, but of course you can go fiends as well to try to counter this. Upgrade-wise, we have 0-0, nice Nova here, but the web was on point as well. Could result in the 5 supply loss for DOWAQ here, still chasing for that fiend, but it's in a good position now. Focus on SYDE's DK, who has a bigger healing potion. That goes to his side. Double level up for SYDE. Coil arrives in time, but that fiend eventually is lost. Level 3 now. Big upgrade for the Coil level 2. DK's got to be careful. Almost surrounded. Sweet silences here. But yeah, the DK has to run now.
It seems like DOWAQ is able to take air superiority. If he takes out all these fiends, there's no more anti-air against the destroyers, but they're still webbed. They're still taking more damage. Both players now going for the fiends on the opposing side. Some of them still alive. Very good calls here by SYDE, over and over. Using the TP now to get out. The DK was in kill range there with the Nova. The fiend eats the Nova and dies. Pretty even trade between the two, I guess, but the key thing, of course, is SYDE's expansion. But does DOWAQ have an idea about this now?
Yeah, definitely smelling it. 2 destroyers still in the air. Level 4 Lich, big damage boost here. So where are we going with this?
And this is a lot of resources that haven't paid off at all yet. This is a Necro, a Haunted, and I guess the Acolyte that were not invested into army, but seems like SYDE still has a decent enough force. 45 supply versus 44.
Shouldn't commit too hard now, though. Has to make this expansion pay off. More investment into these Acolytes. No static defense at all. No Nerubian Tower. Nothing. Reinforcements arrive quickly, though. That's good. And now DOWAQ is on a counter.
Yeah, absolutely. If he counter expands, that's not viable, right? That's way too late.
Yeah.
That would take him too long to get the resources going. SYDE could go for 70 supply very quickly. SYDE should just break upkeep right now, right? Isn't this a little greedy? He's still waiting a little bit at 49.
He's completely out of resources, so I can totally understand that. Has 2 invul potions on his heroes. He's, by the way, playing without a Dark Ranger, right? Like, there's no silence on his side. This is...
In Fiend Wars, kind of unheard of, but I guess we're moving mostly into destroyers as 4 Destros are moving south for DOWAQ. Another big push.
Yeah. Still down in supply, but some stuff of SYDE is still in production. Nukes the DK again. There's nothing to save him here. Low's position. Getting a statue. That's big.
Lich in front now, getting focused next. DOWAQ aiming hard for the hero kills. The Lich, is he dead? Does he have something in his inventory? There was the TP, still uses that to get out of this sticky situation. Nice coil, last second, once more to save that fiend. And there was a lot of firepower already used up by DOWAQ. Yeah. There was all the mana on the destroyers and most of the mana on the Lich.
But still no support here at this expo. So he's healing up a little. Lich is still hurt. DK is also only at 50%, using a mana potion now to get 2 coils, and he has a potion to save himself. Web at a good position. Could be a kill right there. Greetings! with the Nova.
Once again going for the hero. Looks like he didn't look at the inventory because there's a healing potion. This is not going to work. Even an A-bomb now coming in. It looks like SYDE is making the hole as expansion, but it's not over yet. Once again, these coils by SYDE, man, are so on point, saving so many fiends one after the next. And he has a slight mana advantage at the moment. Losing the statue, though, is big. Lich has to go for the invul, eating a ghoul, has more Nova, going for the hero kill again. DOWAQ over and over and over again. But here was the potion he had that's still available. Death Knight still getting focused, still dropping lower. But the Lich now for DOWAQ also has to be careful.
The boots, Remo, the boots could have chased him. That forced the town portal. The DK stays alive, gets the kill. This is looking fantastic for SYDE. Now he's not mining with... Oh, gets another destroyer. That's 10 supply down. And the level up for the Dark Ranger, level 3 now, level 4.5 Lich, close to level 4 DK. Then he can go for Death Pact and save his heroes even easier. And this was the biggest push possible for the Swede. And what can he do now? No levels on a Dark Ranger, no Dark Ranger Mana Stone certainly helps. He burned through his big mana potion that he had earlier, and he's down to 33 supply. He needs a plan B right now.
Tough spot now for him, very tough. Usually our go-to cop-out answer as casters when they're so far behind as well, what's the comeback mechanism? Hero kills. Yeah. It's kind of always hero kills. And that should be SYDE's priority number 1 now. Heal pots, invul pots. On the DK we already have one of each. Lich in the front for SYDE, being the spear of this attack as he's finally moving across aggressively. Again, these coils, man, over and over. The DK positioning sometimes was a little too aggressive. Now, for example, I think he's baiting it. He's baiting the Nova and the focus, knowing that he can rely on his items. And now he's level 4 as well. He can even go for Death Pact at this point.
And this Nova hit the ghouls hard. Easy to pick up. Nova against the fiends. Can the ghouls connect somehow? There we go. Down it is. And SYDE is dropping a little bit in supply. Level 4 now as well. Coil arrives on both sides. Is he still baiting this? The invul potion is gone. Coil arrives last second. Silence a little bit too late. Prevents the next Nova. Catches it himself at the boots.
He got him!
Able to catch him again. GG. SYDE is 4-1 and in the prime position to making it to Xi'an. DOWAQ, this midday break didn't do him any favors. 2 games.